I'm so sick of this feeling. So sick of this feeling. Broncos week 1 came with such hope. It came with such enthusiasm. Brand new coach, brand new schemes, brand new gear. And we just get kicked in the mouth over small details once again. Ladies and gentlemen, we came into this game with high hopes and we left wanting more. With a 17-16 loss against those Las Vegas Raiders that we hate so much. So, we got a lot of feelings to buck, to say the least. We're gonna get into it. So, let's get her going. You are here. You are live with the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. Let's go. And yes, here we are, back for another helping of Buck Your Feelings post-game show. This is week 1. I am Jay Weaver, your host, your driver on this emotional bus ride. And I am here next to me with the good, bad, and the ugly. We got Johnny, the Viking Baki here.
High Viking, get it right, cuz.
High Viking, yes. I'm really emotional. I'm really worked up. I don't know about you guys. We got below here as well.
Isaiah, that guy over there.
Yeah, we got Isaiah Pookie Williams here. We got him here.
Pookie Williams.
Man, how are you guys doing? What's the mood here?
What's the mood? Dude, I mean, look at our faces. Look at our faces, and that's all you need to know about the mood. Look, we went into this game. Like, hang on one second.
How did they get up here?
We went into this game like, oh my God, Panic at the Disco, having high hopes. Okay, we walk out the weekend. Here we go again. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard that song by The Weeknd, but that's what it was. We came to the game, Panic at the Disco with high hopes. And we're walking out of this game with the weekend, like the weekend. Here we go. Bruh. Again.
Bruh.
I am so sick of this stuff. Okay.
Yep.
We got D-Rock in the comments saying the exact same thing. I feel this emoji wholeheartedly. It's just disgusting. I mean, we've got all our main guys in here. Bob Skinner saying, "Well, here we go. That sucked." I mean, like, I just...
How?
It's another helping.
How? Okay. All right. Like,
I feel the same as last year. I really do.
Me
It's
too.
small details.
But the problem is, there was so many good things happening that we shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah, but
that's what makes it so rough. Is that unlike last year, where we rolled our eyes, Jay, late at night, prime, all those ridiculous late nights, rolling our eyes, going, "Hell, here we go again." today there was so many good things that happened on that field. So many that I'm like, why are we sitting here feeling this way again? Why? We shouldn't be. We shut down Max Crosby that second half. We did this, we did that, we did the other. Why in the world did they still beat us by 1 freaking point?
Our kicker.
David Preston up in the comments pointing out.
Here's to you, David. I'm so sorry it has to be on in this way, but welcome to the Orange and Blue crew.
Stupid penalties. Now, there were some penalties that, although we disagree with and we didn't like, I thought were totally valid penalties that you were going to see on a week 1 thing. Especially some of the, aggressive tackling, the diving with our crown of our helmet, all those kinds of things that I like seeing, but we all know is a penalty. So, the one Jack killed a man.
Not the penalty.
The one problem with that
he
hit.
should have been called.
The one problem with that hit is like Isaiah and I said it, and I mean, maybe I don't know, maybe I wouldn't be saying if the penalty wasn't against the Broncos, but at the same time, I'm sitting here going, okay, he's sliding down. You've got to touch him to get him down.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to go for the tackle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In this league today, I understand the helmet to helmet stuff. I get it completely, but come on, man. He's sliding down. You go to tackle a guy when he's sliding down. There is no possible way for you to tackle him starting with your shoulder. They keep saying that. And I'm like, do you know how that works? Do you understand how physics works?
Yeah.
Your body leads with your head. If he's diving, if he's sliding, you have to dive. And if you have to dive, the first thing is helmet. Yeah. There is no way against that. You're damned in the defense of this NFL today. You are damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah. And Simmons had a very similar play earlier in the game. Very similar. Yes, wasn't as egregious. He didn't kill a man like K-Jack did, but still.
I did think that Myers was dead for a second.
Yeah, I did too. They shot that side view of his face, and he just his eyes were just still.
That's scary. That's scary though. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, he had his bell rung, for sure. Yeah. But so look, man, the penalties is one thing.
The penalties are one thing, but at the end of the day, the Raiders were actually more penalized. As I'm looking over team stats here, I was actually surprised to see same number of penalties, but the Raiders had 97 yards, we had 83. So wow. It's pretty even. Really, all the stats of this game are pretty even. Total yards, 261 for the Raiders, 260 for the Broncos. The exact. Almost all stats are exactly identical in this game.
What's time of possession?
Time of possession is 27 minutes to 32. So a 5-minute advantage for us. That's not surprising as we outran them.
To a field goal. That's what that extra 5 minutes was. That was that roughing the punter that turned into a field goal.
Yeah.
But okay.
It is.
All right. Before we go any further, Jay.
By the way, the Chargers lost.
Yeah, the Chargers lost.
Yes.
So
that's great.
Look, the season's nowhere near over. It's game 1.
Absolutely not.
Game 1.
It's game 1. We can take solace in knowing that Sean Payton is about to walk into that freaking locker room and light that team up.
Yeah.
Because that was Sean Payton expects much higher. Especially from that, especially from a team boasting a top 5 defense for the past 5 years that really didn't have that much turnover. And in fact, the turnover it had was replaced with guys that a lot considered to be better.
It was defense and special teams.
Okay,
you can't
so
bring us an offense
you know he's gonna walk into that locker room and he's gonna hang his head for a second because I just get the feeling this is how he is. This is my reenactment of. Hey, do you mind if I switch us in Taiwan? Because my head keeps flying behind that logo.
Oh, sure.
Whee! Yay!
Yeah, better. That's better. Yep.
Much better. Okay. Penalty. 10 yards. Anyway, look, this is my reenactment right now of Sean Payton walking into that locker room. Just pretend this is a visor and he and my glorious beard is not here. Okay. That was unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he's got to say. He walks in, takes off his hat, hangs his head, gives him hope that he's not actually that mad, and then he just rips. Because I know that Broncos Country's mad. I know that Greg Penner's up in that booth right now.
Hey.
Seething.
What happened to Greg Dosich?
He hurt his hamstring.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Another hamstring for him.
His
Oh,
right
wow.
His right. I think it's his right leg. I think it was his right leg. I could be wrong.
It's
Is it
actually
just-
the other leg then.
So here's I guess where I come down on this. I'm looking at stats. Everything looks very even. If I look at this game holistically right now, I can't think of any major plays that swung this game. I mean, I guess we can pick apart the missed extra point is probably the closest thing to that. But it was the efficiency of the offense looked great. Russ was 11 for 11 straight? He had a ridiculous streak there where, I mean, he was
Russ
on.
was great. Look,
He did.
and that's where I'm going to disagree with this comment here from another new name, by the way, Pablo Reyes.
Oh.
Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Orange and Blue crew. We are sorry again that it is under these circumstances, but you know what? Come back. We haven't said it yet. Jay, can I say it?
What?
If you haven't already, guys, subscribe, share, comment. All right, check us out. We are on all social media. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. The Orange and Blue Network. Also, you can find us on YouTube. Please, that's where you give us the subscribe, the share, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. And also, right below me there, you can also catch the audio version of every single episode of our podcasts on every single major podcast outlet, be it Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the big ones. We're there. And Jay, can I just finish up with our giving us a quick shout out, or giving a quick shout out to our sponsor, guys. Tonight's show, I don't think they want to sponsor us anymore after the showing that the Broncos just gave. But in the link in the bio below, you can see the link for W.GG where you can go and get the W Jitterless Energy Blend. Guys, this stuff is delicious. It comes in a multitude of wonderful flavors. Every scoop of W has exactly 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, but no sugar, no calories, no maltodextrin, no artificial fillers, and no artificial colors. And guys, it is nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, and nootropics to keep your focus and your reflexes sharp throughout your day without the crash or the jitters afterward. So jump on over to W.GG and get yourself the dub. While you're in the checkout, make sure you punch in NRWOB10. The code is NRWOB10. Will get you 10% off your order. Thank you guys for checking out W. That being said.
All right.
I just want to feel any better, but Will Lutz owned up to his mistakes. So
it doesn't make me feel any better.
So a couple of points that I want to make about what I saw from an offensive standpoint. I just feel like we didn't get to see any fireworks. I feel like what we did was great and efficient, and everything worked from a procedural standpoint, but I just don't think we were aggressive enough from a play call standpoint.
Especially when you consider that our play caller is Sean Payton.
Correct.
Who is the man known for making those big firework play calls.
Yes. Maybe he just wanted to see, I don't know, this is just out the box, but maybe he just wanted to see what the players are made of, you know what I mean?
But you can't do that in a division game.
No, I know.
And against a team whose secondary is going to be one of the worst in the league. There's no reason we shouldn't have aired this game out, because this is one of the few games on a schedule where you were like, ooh, we need to eat. This is a let's go eat. Don't we remember last year in Las Vegas? Russell Wilson had his best game last year in Vegas.
Yeah, it sounds weird to say that a week 1 game is a must win, but this was a must win.
It's not even a must win, though. It was a must perform. It was a must. Let's get out of our own skin and get out of our own shell and get ourselves, dangerous. Get some tape on for other teams to actually fear us. And unfortunately, what we did is we went into this game with the exact same unsexy offensive play calling that whoop-de-doo-dah, we were efficient and we got a lot done, but we only put up how many points? That's
To a
the whole
degree. To a degree. That's
we
but
didn't put any points up.
Yeah, Russ. Like,
the
okay,
Raiders
I said I disagreed. Yeah, I said I disagree with our new friend Pablo here, in that Wilson sucked. I don't think Wilson sucked.
He played great.
I thought Wilson looked like vintage Russ.
Yeah, he did.
I thought this is how. I don't care. You know, we may have lost this game. We may have lost. We did. We may not may have. We lost this game. But and I know that they're going to blow up all over the national media. Sean Payton and Russell Wilson couldn't get it done. Blah blah blah. But if they look at it objectively, Russ was actually phenomenal tonight. The problem was, for some reason, our wide receivers were sleepy, especially in the fourth quarter. And I mean, and let's not even mince words. Let's talk about our kicker. Isaiah just said that Will Lutz just owned up to his mistakes on X, on Twitter.
Yeah, on the
yeah, he owned up to it, but I don't care. It doesn't make me feel any better. You were brought here. Here's how I'm looking at this. How else do you look at this? Sean Payton says, okay, I'm not rolling it back. I'm not going to roll it forward with Brett Maher. Okay. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go out and sign Robbie Gould. I'm not going to go out and sign Mason Crosby. I'm going to go trade for a guy that I had under me in New Orleans, who I have faith in, who I trust, who's been very consistent, has had some struggles a little bit, but still, he makes a trade for that guy, brings him over, and then that guy misses his first extra point and his first field goal on this team. Unfreaking acceptable.
Unacceptable.
We just lost 17-16. Had he made that field goal and that extra point, it would have been 20-17. We'd have won by a field goal. And
that's
how do you justify that? How do you now justify that trade?
I didn't want to say nothing during the game, but as soon as we missed that extra point and the field goal, I don't know, man. I wasn't saying I don't want us to lose, but I just had a bad feeling about the way the game was going to go.
That missed extra point took away the momentum. I mean,
we
did score on the following drive or before half time, but that missed extra point kind of kicked the boulder down the hill.
No, it kicked us in the balls.
It was like, oh, everything's good. That was a nice opening drive. That was the
beautiful drive.
True. But there was a stat that said that was the first opening drive touchdown for the Broncos since 2008. I don't think that's true.
And look at this comment by our friend Blitz.
Brett Maher kicked phenomenal for the Rams, and Brett McManus kicked
5 for 5. Yeah, Brett McManus 5 for 5 for Jacksonville.
And Matt Prater phenomenal today too. Going.
And look where we are. We're sitting here with Will Lutz going, I own my mistakes.
Is Elliott Fry still injured?
Yeah.
But
it's Will Klutz, buddy.
Will Klutz.
I'm just saying. And even Don, he said it in our pregame show. He did not see the Raiders winning this, and he's a Raiders fan.
Whoever said it was the lack of aggressive plays downfield by Sean Payton. I mean, Russell Wilson was efficient. Great. I like that. No turnovers. You're lucky on that fumble.
Yeah. But, you want efficient. Go.
Ask Johnny after the game. I said, what the hell happened to Cortland Sutton?
Yeah. Where did that go? Like he was matched up with that rookie. I can't remember his name, but number 0.
Number 0.
He was destroying him. Yeah, exactly.
We threw one ball, and it was the pass interference call, and then we completely abandoned that entire strategy.
And we didn't try to go to Mims again. Mims had Marcus Peters had to pass interfere because Mims is so fast. Never went to it again.
Yeah, agreed. Look, there was just so many little things. It was okay. I hate to say this. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not going to. I'm gonna use a different analogy because I'm not using a Vic Fangioism for this one. I'm not. I'm already angry enough.
Skinny Bob.
All the meatballs.
Yeah, there you go. I'm actually gonna say it this way. It was death by 1,000 cuts. Okay, that old torture euphemism. Just tiny little cuts, just 1,000 of them. It just killed us between penalties and little missteps, little things that weren't done right. Isaiah and I said it during the game. Did it feel like our whole secondary was just a step behind the entire game?
Caden Stearns, I believe that was a big reason because he's a great player.
Honestly, it's the coaching aspect of it's maybe just the game one, maybe it's week 1. And so we're dipping our toe into the water of our playbook. But I thought Defensively, play calling, offensive play calling, neither were aggressive. Vance Joseph didn't throw any blitzes out, which is his hallmark of his defense. It just
our defense got no pressure on one of, and I'm sorry to say this, on one of the softest offensive lines in the NFL.
That's the thing, yeah. This is a matchup, guys. Like, this is a matchup we had to feast. This was a good temperature gauge to the year.
No Chandler
It's
Jones.
so concerning that we couldn't do anything today.
Did Hunter run for a play?
No.
Yeah.
Did he play?
Run for a play?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh, I didn't see.
I don't think he had a catch.
He didn't have a catch, yeah.
He didn't have a single catch.
No.
Hunter run for a good shutdown. Devontae Adams gets shut down.
Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers.
Shut down.
There's your answer.
Lamar back is new. We've all said it. We've all known it.
But that's the thing. Is like 17 points, exactly what we got out of the Raiders offense is exactly what I would think they would. I mean, that all is to their average.
What did I predict?
17 points for them?
What did I predict?
Right.
I predicted 27-14 Broncos.
I said
Where's the 27? That's my whole thing. Is like our defense did what they were supposed to do, and they just kept everyone in check. Okay. They weren't perfect.
Skinner, Now Bob Skinner makes a great point, Jay. Talking about clock management, like a good positive to take from this. There was much better clock management.
Yeah, that end of the first half drive.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfectly executed.
And the defense, I mean, the only thing with the defense is no sacks, which is really bad.
Penalty.
And Damari Mathis got absolutely exposed. I mean, besides, Jacoby Myers had 2 touchdowns. The only touchdowns that the Raiders had came from one player guarded by one person.
Good one right there by D-Rock, Jay. Great comment by Shadowjacker. So where was the edge rush? Where were they?
You know what? I think they should have put in Nick Bonito because Nick Bonito played a couple plays, but it's mostly Clark, Cooper, and Gregory, and none of them could get pressure.
I didn't even notice Gregory. I know he was there, but I didn't.
Clark or Gregory probably actually did better than anybody in terms of getting close from the edge to Garoppolo.
I thought Cooper did all right.
Now Cooper did great setting the edge.
Very good.
He did an amazing job setting the edge against the run. And he did a great job tracking it down too. But he wasn't getting home. He wasn't getting as close as Gregory was to getting home. Zach Allen did have that one great tackle for loss.
He did.
That was phenomenal.
Jacobs.
But we got to see more of that. That's why we brought you to Denver, right?
Well, my thing is that none of the guys, well, maybe besides Joshua Cooper, but Nick Bonito has the best bend and the best speed, the combination of those two.
Yeah.
So if you're through pass rushers and getting there, maybe try the speed guy off the edge. At least get some pressure.
But at the time we were doing that, guys, I didn't see any scheme to bring pressure. It was, okay, Gregory, you're 1 of 4 going. Yeah, hey, Baron Brown, or not Baron Browning, but Cooper is 1 of 4 going. It's not like you're pushing 6 on the line.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you guys really paid attention to our blitz game, but it was almost non-existent.
It wasn't.
Which I mean, the thing is, Vance Joseph is known for his blitz game.
He was scared.
Now, that's true. And that's another person that I think Sean Payton needs to light up in the locker room is, and maybe not in front of the team, but is Vance Joseph, because you're coming in here being known as one of the best blitz coaches in the NFL. Again, now I'll give it to him on this. Jimmy Garoppolo historically is great against pressure. He is.
Yes.
He escapes it well, and he passes against it well. He gets out of pressure. But it doesn't mean that you don't bring it. Yeah. And when you are one of the coaches best known in this league for his blitz game, you better be bringing that blitz. Because eventually he might get that ball out, 5 times out of 6, but that 6th time, someone's going to get home.
When you have a shutdown cornerback, you should have that ability to be able to bring an extra man, because you should be able to cover an entire side of the field. That was the whole Champ Bailey advantage.
But the other side was
when Champ was on one side, you could just do crazy NASCAR packages and such because you knew man coverage, you're good, dude.
Yeah, it's week 1. I said it already, right? It's week 1.
I'm not freaking out.
I don't expect this to be our whole season. but I'm not freaking out either, Ty. But I am going to sit here and say it feels absolutely crappy to feel like this again.
This is actually one of the worst losses I felt in a while.
It's painful.
I think the Rams Christmas one takes the cake. This one's definitely top 3 for me because it's such a winnable game. No Chandler Jones. Hunter Renfrow had no targets. Well, PS2, I think Devontae Adams had 11 targets, 2 receptions, 11 yards, and PS2 had 3 pass breakups. Josh Jacobs, I don't even know if he had 50 yards rushing.
Guys, this is the whole point, and this is the whole reason why I'm angry, is do you think pregame, would you have guessed that Samaje Perine would lead our team with 37 yards receiving?
Yeah.
Samaje Perine, number 1 wide receiver, number 1 receiving yards out of our whole team.
Are you serious?
Well, we said in the pregame we're going to see a lot of checkdowns too, though. You know what I mean? A lot
from our backup running back,
our good old friend from our former network, Richie Richey, our buddy up in Canada, host of the Wild Wild West. Yep. One of the 4 hosts of Wild Wild West over there. That if you guys have never checked them out, check them out. They've got a cool show where it's 4 hosts, each one a different fan from a different AFC West team. It's very cool. It's a lot of fun. Rich is a good friend. He's a former co-host of mine on a different show called Broncos Talk. It was a lot of fun. He says he couldn't blitz. Point star Jimmy eats blitzes alive. We were also struggling to stop the run, generally speaking. If we blitz, then we'd get started in the passing game. And I agree with you 100%, and that's what I was saying, Rich. But what I am saying is it doesn't mean you don't blitz at all.
Well, my thing is that if you're going to blitz, maybe not necessarily get to Jimmy. What you want to do is you want to fluster him.
You got to make him make mistakes.
Well, yeah, you have to make him make mistakes because what was happening with the lack of blitzing was that what I would do as a defensive coordinator is I'm blitzing a different blitz every time. I'm going to make Jimmy guess where the blitz is coming from. He knows the blitz is coming. Okay, where's it coming from? It's coming somewhere different every time. We didn't do that, and as Jay said, you have a lockdown corner, and you have an all-pro free safety and an all-pro DB. You should be able to blitz and say, okay, you know what? Lock this down for 3 seconds, make him make this mistake and pick it off.
Yeah, but it don't matter.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Damari Mathis, he got eaten up alive tonight too, though.
Exposed.
He did.
He didn't play that good. So, like, when you guys were saying, I don't disagree with you, but when you guys were saying PS2 locks down the other side, it leaves the other side open. But as you guys say, back to what you said, if you force Garoppolo to make mistakes, we did in the end zone. He threw that ball that got batted in the air, and it became an interception. But I think they blitzed that time, though, didn't they? I think they blitzed down the end zone when he threw that pick.
I'm not sure on that.
I'm not trying to have to go back and watch.
They did create pressure.
They created pressure. I don't think it was a blitz though.
There was pressure.
All right. Well, they created pressure.
And okay, Rich did correct me in the comments. We did blitz some. I just feel like with someone like Vance Joseph, we could have done it a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with Rich. Don't do it too much because you'll get eaten up. But I feel like we did it too little. Find a nice balance between.
I feel like I understand the run game was working. Our run game was good. Our offensive line this game was decent. They weren't bad.
McGlinchey did pretty well considering.
You guys
after the first 2 sets, once they gelled and
they look good.
I got this. Yeah. Russell Wilson did a very good job of letting Max Crosby bull rush McGlinchey and then rolling out to the right. But I felt like Sean Payton, the offense was different the second half. I felt like Sean Payton wanted to establish the run game, which is what he did, but it seemed like he took the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands.
He did.
Yeah. Russ was cooking. Like,
he looked
really,
good.
really cooking.
He was really elusive too, man. He was out of that pocket. He was moving really good. He was doing good.
Really, really good. And it just seemed like the end of the first of that 2-minute drill was the best. The opening drive and the 2-minute drive are the best things that happened in this game.
Yeah, best.
So clean, I agree. So precise. Russ was cooking. And then it seemed like the second half, and it's funny because we said the opposite last year, establish run game run. Now we're like, no. Put the ball in Russ's hands.
Yeah.
Well, I just, again, pre-game, I thought at least Marvin Mims would be the number 2 guy. Therefore, he should get number 2 targets. He should be on the route tree of the number 2 guy. He only had 2 targets this game. And guess what? He had 2 catches. But you never got him back involved.
That's what I mean by Sean Payton took Russ out the game because we were running the ball. It's cool, we're successful, but then we get penalties. And so great, we ran the ball and got 6 yards, but we got a 10-yard holding penalty. So now we got to throw it, and now they're dropping back in the quarters. They're projecting back to cover 3. Now we can get 4, 5, 6 yards
Oh, my God.
back, and then it's 3 and out. And then
There's a new name, Devin Hoffman.
no, he was
No,
here
it's
in the
my
pregame.
friend.
Oh, that's right. He was in the pregame show, but here you go. Here's you again. Welcome back.
And then
Congrats.
7th
you
grade
won.
for the Raiders. Let's go, baby. Good game. A lot of stupid mistakes by both teams.
yeah, and then
Yep.
you had, and it seemed like Marvin Mims disappeared, Cortland Sutton disappeared, Adam Troutman tried to stop and break on the ball. When you see, he just ran and got 1 or 2 more yards and gave us a better.
Yeah, he kept trying to make some kind of move.
Yeah, he was trying to make a move. So Cortland Sutton disappeared, Marvin Mims disappeared, Brandon Johnson disappeared, Lil Jordan Humphrey disappeared. All of our receivers were gone the second half.
When Brandon caught that pass, Isaiah, I really thought he was going to get more passes thrown to him, and then, like you said, they all disappeared.
Philip Dorsett had that stupid out of bounds play.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of a coincidence that is about the same time Dulcich got injured. So you take a big target out of the middle with his hamstring injury. Things kind of shifted, I think, at that point as far as play calling as well. It was a lot more run-heavy.
Extra point, Caden Stearns. I think Greg Dulcich really sapped the air out of the Broncos. It seems like
D-Rock.
D-Rock, Russ was not the problem.
no.
It's
that-
week
that-
one, D-Rock.
Russ was
Actually,
great.
the only thing that wasn't the problem was the offense. That's the only thing that wasn't bad defense.
Yeah, we said it in the game. Isaiah asked me, he's like, is this the first time that the defense isn't carrying the Broncos? I said, no, the offense is.
Yeah. It was
And then-
it was the penalties, people getting burnt, all that. I don't know, man.
I guess my whole thing is that if everything was all the same and we gave up the 17 points and everything happened on that side of the ball exactly how it did, and Samaje Perine was not the number 1 wide receiver for our team, come on. You can't say we wouldn't put up another 3, 7, some extra points if we just had a little bit more aggressive team to us on offense.
I expect to see some free agent signings this week. Definitely a kicker, definitely a DB, and probably a safety.
Agreed.
I don't understand Cortland Sutton though, man. How he connect? It's just like he can't get involved. I don't understand. Like
Because
it's
he
like
has no separation. He's not that kind of wide receiver. He's a possessional wide receiver. He's a go up and get it guy. But we don't have a burner. We don't have Jerry Jeudy. We don't have a.
We missed Jerry Jeudy today.
I agree with you on this one, D-Rock. We did only score 16 points, but again, it wasn't because of Russ. I think I can count 1 pass. 1. Maybe 2. Maybe. But even then, on that one, I actually understood why he threw the ball away he did. I can count those 2 where Russ missed, threw a bad pass. One was the one where he rolled out to the left, sailed it a little too high over Javonte, and even Javonte looked at him and went like this, like, bring it down, bro. The other one was where it was right up the middle to Cortland Sutton. He rolled out to the right, and he threw it, but the pressure was coming. Max Crosby was right in his face. He threw a low pass because the safety was coming down fast on court. And the only way to prevent either an interception or a pass breakup was to throw a low pass, which Court did not catch. It was a catchable ball that Cortland missed. So once again, I don't think Russ was the problem. Yes, the offense could have done more, but Russ was not the problem. Not in my opinion.
No, he wasn't. We just and Richie says we also made inactive Nate Atkins, who could have been another target. I saw that when I saw the inactives. I was curious as to why they made Nate inactive.
It could have been a personal thing. Something personal.
But I'm glad he's there because with Greg Dulcich, we don't know how long he's going to be out with his hamstring. So Nate Atkins can play fullback and tight end. I expect to see him brought up next week.
That's a good point, too. Bring up that last one by Rich.
Little Jordan.
Yeah, we never used Lil Jordan in the slot.
We didn't use Cortland Sutton in the spot either.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did, but we never used him in the slot. He's like it's like he's tailor made for that position.
I
mean, Jay, I feel like there are still game balls to give, but
I think Troutman played good.
It's still
You want to get some guts? Get some guts. All right, here we go. We're gonna do it. Here we go. All right, we got game balls. I would say let's pick a game ball each. And then maybe if we have time, we can go for a double round here, but one each right out of the gate.
Sure. I mean, this is just
maybe
your
some
show.
background why.
It's your world, Squirrel. I'm just trying to get a nut.
Okay. So let's go, Ty. Ty, you go first. Who's your game ball? Who's your go-to guy here for this game?
In my opinion, I would pick Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Is he the game ball leech?
Say again?
Ty, is he the game ball leech? Is he the one that we all leech off of and agree that he gets a game ball? Is he that the first game ball leech, Jay?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
It's kind of the Jokic game ball of I don't know, so just here you go.
Russ was the undisputable leader of this team tonight. Yeah. He really did. He led the team. He did an amazing job. He looked like vintage Russ, right?
Yep, vintage.
Yeah, he did.
I loved how he played. Anybody, in my opinion, tonight, anybody that says it's on Russ, it's not. I will disagree with anybody.
Oh, Nick Wright will, but I mean, also,
I don't care about Nick Wright.
Also, Nick Wright has nothing. Can't say jack squat because he got a tattoo for a team for a Chiefs team he predicted was going to go 21 or 20-0 for the season, and they lost their first game too. So.
I wish you would see our podcast, but nobody can blame this on Russ. But back to what I said in our group chats all the time, I always say this: the quarterback gets blamed for everything by everybody. It happens all the time, win or lose. If something bad happens, they always go back to the quarterback, and people are still going to do that.
The hard part about that, Ty, is the leadership that is expected from that position.
No, I get it.
Like a great example of that would be for me and Isaiah in the military. Or, you were in the Army.
Yeah.
A great example of that, if a soldier screws up, does something stupid, who gets in more trouble than the soldier does?
Team leader.
Their team leader.
Yeah.
And then above that, their squad leader. Above that, their commander.
Lieutenant, all that, yeah.
They always say shit rolls downhill, but it also kind of climbs the ladder too.
Yeah, but Russ really didn't make too many mistakes, so that's what I'm saying.
On a personal level, no, he did not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't know. I'll argue with everybody tomorrow. I don't care, but Russ, he did great tonight. He played better than last year in one game that I've seen so far. Hopefully, he picks up from where he left off. We just need the defense to get less penalties. We need somebody. I don't know, man. We need corners, everything. We just need him to play better as an overall team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so according to Ty, Russ has got the balls.
Yeah, dude, he does.
All right, Russ has got the balls.
He's
not.
Here's
the big news. Here's the big news. My Pat Surtain gets a game ball for me. God, I'm getting destroyed in fantasy. Crap.
We'll talk about that later.
Pat Surtain allowed just 2 receptions for 11 yards.
Great.
5 targets. So 5 targets.
Woo!
2 receptions for 11 yards. And 3 pass breakups. A career high.
Woo!
Take that, Sauce.
So
Devontae
Adams would absolutely cook Sauce Gardner. But yeah, Pat Surtain gets my game ball.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I feel like Pat Surtain would roll. Is going to roll under the wire, so or under the view of the national media, so to speak, on this, because Devontae Adams still ate all game.
Yeah,
especially when for whatever reason they kept pairing him off with Damari Mathis.
I don't know why they did that.
I'm sorry. They should have had PS2 on him all game. It should not have been.
His shadow rate was only 61%.
Yeah.
So me and Zano were saying that. We're like, why are they putting Damari Mathis? We don't, and I don't understand that at all, man. When you have Pat Surtain as your corner, the best corner in the league, you put him on the best. You put him on the best receiver of every team, the whole game, every play.
I don't know about that because some teams don't quite have the Devontae Adams.
And you saw it because they started to hide Devontae Adams in the slot.
Yeah,
they did.
Because read that stat, it was only 2 receptions for 11 yards against PS2 and 3 pass breakups. So they tried to put him in the slot. Like, we can't get him on the boundary, so we'll put him on the slot. And on certain times, that social was like, okay, go with him in the slot. And you see the stats. Shadow him 100%, and then Damari Mathis. I mean, I don't know if Justin Simmons or PS2's got to pull him to the side and be like, bro, get your head out of your ass. What are you doing, bro? Yeah. You knew. My thing is that Damari Mathis said this. Everybody knew this. With PS2 on one side, they're going to pick on you. He said, He said that all offseason.
Obviously
I'm
not.
ready.
Yeah, right.
Exactly what we said they
Didn't
would.
see it.
Picked on him and
What
I hate
what, what do you guys think about Josie Jewell, how he played?
Well, Johnny, what is your game? What's your game ball? Is it offensive or defensive? To Ty's point.
Well, we've gone one offensive, one defensive, so I guess I can figure out which way I'm going to split the tie. Split the tie. I'm going to split you, bro. I'm going to split you hard. Anyway.
I am disgusted.
Yes. Okay. For this one, I'm going to give it to Javonte Williams. I'm going to go offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Our run game, we never quite got it going as well as I think we should have. But I will say this. Whenever they put the ball in Javonte's hands, he looked like the Javonte that I've missed.
Yeah.
He was running.
Yeah.
He was running hard. He's not going to get an angry run scepter this week. But he ran hard. He carried people. He found holes. And got through them. I think his average run was he had 4.5 or 5
Yeah,
per
about
carry.
4.5 yards sounds right.
4.5 per carry. Not
Probably
bad.
about 3.5, 4 because he had a couple tackles.
So
for loss.
is the question? Do I think he's completely there yet? No. I think we have more to see. I think he'll get there.
Taking it easy.
But what I am going to say is this was his first. He was definitely the bell cow. Definitely. Like Jay, your hot take you made in the pregame show about Javonte eating and being the 1A, definitely right. Yep. He took the vast majority of snaps at running back, and he did a great job. He looked like a starting running back. So I'm giving it to him simply because the guy is coming off that injury, and he's an injury at the end of the season that most people don't even come back from at all. And if they do, they're usually a shell of themselves. And he looked good, and he did it so well. Like we said all offseason, the only person we've ever seen do it in the same way was Adrian Peterson.
Bruh.
And for him to do that, he deserves a game ball tonight.
I agree. That's a great one.
So we got 2 offensive, 2 defensive. Jay, what say you?
Well, I have a really mixed bag of emotions when I'm going to give this.
Just kidding.
So I'm going to give it to Sean Payton, but I have some reasons to justify it and some reasons why I'm really disappointed in him. But it gives me hope that he's going to get it right. We all haven't mentioned yet that we lost by 1 point. And aside from this extra point nonsense,
I said it earlier, but I yelled it. Uh-oh. We lost Jay.
Jay!
He's doing that.
You there?
You're frozen again. Okay. All right.
What I was gonna say. You still got me?
Yeah, we got you. You're good, bro.
What I was gonna say is that we started this game down 7 points. Onside kick to begin this game put us down 7 points to start this game. We don't have the margin for error to be able to do frivolous decision making like that. Now, it gave me hope because I love that. I love a coach that has some nuts that's going to go for it and going to go do crazy things. But I thought that was going to be a foreshadow of how he's going to call the game. And that turned out to be the most aggressive play call he made all day. So I love him. I think he did so many great things for time management, for the organization of this game plan. Everything looked great, but his actual game plan, he implemented it great. The players were very efficient, very few penalties on the whole that were pre-snap penalties, a lot of that kind of stuff. Great showing. So he gets the game ball, but man, it was week 1 for him too. He needs to, get it together.
And he will.
It gives me hope.
You know that he will.
He will.
Gives me hope.
He did have a few seasons, I think at least 3, where he lost the season opener in New Orleans.
Yeah,
and when that happened, he came back and hit hard.
Justin Simmons said Sean Payton's message to the team was, it's week 1. The next 4 weeks, we've got to find a way to improve drastically. So Sean Payton knows, okay, we've got to improve drastically. Now the good thing is that we've got film on tape. We got plays on tape.
He's up here.
And regular season. So now he can go back, look at the tape, look at the offense, look at his play calls. Wonder why the hell he took the ball out of Russ's hands, who was cooking, who had quote unquote 2 incompletions, but one was a spiked ball.
Yeah.
Before the end of the first
That
half.
was before the end of the first half.
So he's gonna have to look at he established the run game. The run game was much better in the second half than it was in the first, but it wasn't producing points. The pass game, destroying the Raiders secondary, was producing points. Because when Russ was out of the pocket, or when they could not stop him. He was unstoppable. Joseph has to go back and look at film and figure out why the Raiders scored on every single drive except for one. They punted once. So they scored on every drive except for one, and we had 0 sacks.
Something's got to give there.
It's true.
That hurts, man. That hurts.
It gives me pause for hope for future weeks here. We're not a disgrace like we were last year, of at least like our coach knows how to count. But, you know, I'm scared for this team moving forward if we don't have another playmaker like Jerry Jeudy walking into the building.
Me too.
Because we got to have someone like that.
Maybe he'll be back.
Yeah. I'm going to bring up this comment by Blitz. You know, Blitz says, I just feel like Adams was open all night long. And we said it earlier. Did it not feel like the secondary was just always a step behind? There was that one pass. And it ended up in the red zone. Justin Simmons on coverage. I believe it was on a safety.
No, it was.
I believe it was
on
on
a tight end. Austin Hooper, whatever their name is.
Hooper.
It was on Hooper, and you know he had tight coverage on him, but you saw him go for that ball, and he was just a second behind.
Yeah,
second half of the season last year, that was
right
Justin
there,
Simmons'
like
pick.
that's Jay Sims.
That was a Justin Simmons pick last year.
Last season, that would have been a pick, 100%. So knowing Jay Sims, we know him personally on this show, on this network. Knowing him, knowing what we see from him, seeing that from him, that one play right there is almost a perfect embodiment of the entire night defensively. They were just a step behind the whole freaking time.
Yeah.
Justin Simmons is coming back from injury. That's the first time he's played. He didn't play in the preseason, so I'm glad he's healthy. I'm glad he's out there. He had a penalty. He had a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
so he's coming back to do his own. I honestly believe. I don't think next week will be that way. I think Sean Payton wants vengeance. I think we're gonna come out and we're gonna. Next week's at home, right? Or
It's at home.
Yes, I think we're gonna beat the ever living crap out of the Commanders.
We're gonna get our revenge, which Blitz Reference said right here. We have to beat the Redskins, aka the Commanders.
I think that. How do they keep getting up here?
Get downstairs.
I think that
get him, Johnny. Get him.
Payton has to realize the balance.
Yeah.
You have a great 1-2 punch with your running backs, and then you've got something in Jordan Humphrey. There's something there with little Jordan Humphrey.
They didn't use him.
I knew that in preseason. You got Jordan Humphrey, Marvin Mims, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. That's a decent wide receiver core.
Troutman played good too, though. He played all right.
Until that last play, Troutman was good.
He was okay, yeah.
Until that last play, so you got to figure out a way to incorporate Dulcich, Troutman, Atkins, and actually improve. And then not only do that, not only on the offense, but the defense Joseph has to figure something out. Because right now, we miss Evero really bad.
Well, again, I mean, okay. Again, week 1. And you see it there, Bob Skinner. Skinny Bob, our good friend there, he said before the game, it could take up to 4 weeks to see what we have. And he's not wrong. How many times have I said it? Have I said week 4? You'll start to see things mesh, gel. But
I hope we're 3-1 by week 4.
This one hurts so bad, you guys.
It
Just like last year, we came into this with so much, how do we say it? Hope. We had so much hope and high expectation. And again, we got burned.
Yeah.
I don't think it's over. I don't think we're wrong about what this team will eventually look like under Sean Payton with Russell Wilson.
3 points in the second half.
Again, Samaje Perine as the leading wide receiver. I just can't emphasize that enough of how big of a disgrace that is.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think everyone besides Russell Wilson's at fault.
I mean,
the offense scored 3 points. The defense in the second half, the defense had 0 sacks. Special
That's
teams,
true. I agree.
missed the field goal and extra point. I think it's everybody's fault across the board except for Russell Wilson.
All I say is next week, Mims better be getting more than 2 looks throughout the entire
100%.
game.
That's my thing. That's my thing, Jay, is that you're Sean Payton, right? Offensive genius. Your offense scored 3 points in the second half. You can blame that on whatever you want, but the reality is that your offense scored 3 points in the second half.
That's why you were hired, Sean.
Yes, on defense, you had 0 sacks, and they scored on every drive except for 1 punt.
Yeah.
Special teams, your kicker has 1 bad punt, missed offsides, a missed extra point, and a missed field goal.
How about that punt though when he got it taken out by the leg? That was a far punt.
Yes, and that was a scary hit.
Yeah, no, it was scary. Yes, but
And we got 3 points off that.
Yeah.
Now, how about you asked me, Ty, about Josie Jewell. Jay, I want to ask you about Alex Singleton. Because we've always been high on Alex Singleton since he came to the Broncos. And tonight he had 8 total tackles, 4 of them solo.
Josie Jewell?
No, Alex Singleton.
Yeah, he's all over.
Now he had 0 for loss, but I mean he led the team in tackles tonight. 8. The next closest was Josie Jewell with 6.
Yeah.
Alex Singleton absolutely all over the field. Did a good job. I don't think I ever saw him miss a tackle.
No.
I don't think. But that's another thing. That's another thing this defense has to do is tackle.
Yeah.
They need to try to do tackling drills hard.
That was a problem in preseason too.
That's a week 1. That's a week 1 that I saw on all the early games. No team could tackle today. That's just everybody, I think, getting acclimated to playing real football.
When I played football, though, even in high school, week 1, we had to make the tackles. I get what you're saying, Jay, but you got to win the game.
Nobody plays preseason anymore. The physicality of actually getting hit is something you can't simulate really for all these starters. So I give them a little bit of pass on that kind of stuff. But I mean,
to a degree. But I mean, like when you run into somebody,
he just fall down.
I don't remember who it was on who, but I did talk. You look at Isaiah and be like, really? It was a Josh Jacobs run play around the left side.
It was
around the left side. Huh?
It was Kareem Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah. And he just put his shoulder into him.
Yes, Kareem.
And he ran up and went like, huh. and I didn't see his arms go up to wrap around him at all or even attempt it. And I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is that? You got to wrap him up if you want to tackle him. You don't just nudge him with your shoulder like some pissed off high schooler who's, when you're walking towards the guy who's now dating your ex-girlfriend in the hallway.
Good analogy.
For as much hype as we heard, I didn't see Drew Sanders on the field at all.
Not at all.
I didn't see him either. I was wondering that too.
Excellent point. Where was Drew Sanders?
All that stuff they talked about. We had 3 screens. We had 0 tight end screens.
Is he hurt?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, Dulcich got hurt, and Nate Adkins was inactive. I'm not going to throw a tight end screen to Adam Troutman.
We did 0 screens.
And I'm not going to throw a tight end screen. I'm definitely not going to throw a tight end screen to Chris Manhurst.
0 screens to Mims. 0 jet sweeps.
Jet sweeps.
Yeah, there wasn't that much motion
to Mims.
Yeah,
either.
There wasn't much RPO at all. In fact,
Jaleel got a couple reps though. I was happy to see him.
They were all negative. He had 2 or 3 plays. They were all negative. They
were all negative.
And they took him out immediately.
Oh, that one he got the face mask.
There was no counters.
Yeah,
the play in the preseason that worked was a halfback counter. There were hardly any counter plays.
It hurts you guys.
It's seeds for the future. Like, it's not all bad. It's just really disappointing because it's the Raiders, and I hate them. I just hate the Raiders.
Me too. I hate the Raiders.
Oh my god! And I've said this how many times? We as Broncos fans, we hate 2 teams. That's it. There's 2 teams that we literally vehemently hate, and that's the Raiders and the Chiefs.
Yep.
And a lot of people say it's the Chiefs, obviously because of the way the Chiefs have been the last few years. But for me, Raider week, I am a bona fide Raider hater before I'm anything else. I hate the Chiefs. I don't like them, which sucks for me because my wife's family, they live 2 hours from Kansas City, and they're all diehard Kansas City fans. Drives me nuts. But not my wife, thank God. But she'll say she is just to give me
you're crazy.
Propped up. But but in terms of my actual like just how much I despise a franchise over another, my like disdain for the Raiders is so much stronger than my dislike of the Chiefs.
Me too. I'm with you 100%.
So to lose this game week 1 in a game that we were supposed to win at home
and break that streak too. Now it's 7 games.
Hurts.
You're killing me, Smalls.
It does. It hurts. I agree with you 1,000%, man. I don't. Oh, man.
Suck. Okay. So I've got an idea, Jay, for a new segment that I think I'll design this week for the show next week. If it's all right with you, that we could just try talking about tonight because we got a few minutes left.
Okay, go for it.
If you were the coach, that's what it'll be called, something along those lines. If you were a coach, what is the one thing each person goes around and each one gives one thing that if they were the coach, you can choose which position or which whatever or which specialty or whatever you're coaching in this case. But if you were the coach, what would you change? One thing. What would you change? What would you work on the hardest this week?
I'm going first. Okay, so what I would do.
Oh my God, dude! Really?
What I would do is I would.
Do you have a
start Nick Bonito?
Wow.
Okay. Over who?
Anyone.
Okay, doesn't matter.
We got to
pick one.
He can't be in both places.
Okay, out of
pick one person
out
he
of
replaces.
Randy Gregory, Jonathan Cooper, and Frank Clark. Out of all three of those, which one did the best today? Which one had the most damage? None of them. So you can pick one and put Nick Bonito in any of their spots.
Name one.
Doesn't matter because they're all rotational.
It does matter,
Johnny. They all pick sides. None of them start. They're all different packages. So that's why I say
over Frank Clark.
Frank Clark, Jonathan Cooper, Randy. You can put him over.
I would honestly put him over. Honestly, if you're starting
Jonathan
him,
Cooper,
I put him over Jonathan Cooper and let Randy Gregory start on the other side because at least he got closer than anybody else.
Because I didn't see. I saw Nick Bonito seal the edge, do a really good job on run defense, get a good tackle on Josh Jacobs. But I didn't see him pass. And so we saw all three other people pass rush, and none of them got there. Why not throw the guy that has to speed off the edge?
And the bend.
So me, start Nick Bonito.
All right, Jay. If you're the coach, what's the one thing you change or work on the most this week?
Yeah, the one thing I change is I get rid of the onside kick and give my team 7 points back. And I replace that with my very first play on offense being a seam bomb to Mims to set the tone of that. You better have one high side at all times because we can throw that deep shot that Russ is great at any time. And we never established that at the beginning of the game. So that's how we better start the next one.
I'd throw it, like Jay said, complete or incomplete.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just the threat.
I'm like, at the gate, like if I'm a lawyer and the court's about to start and the defense is like, I want to ask you a question, I'm the first one to say is objection. I'm not objecting.
Can I ask you something?
I'm just setting the tone. I'm just letting you know now. This ain't going to be easy.
Jay, can I ask you something about that onside kick real quick before we keep going with this? If we accomplished that onside kick and it went our way,
sure,
and it went our way instead of coming up short of the 10 yards and then being put right in the hands of the Raiders.
Yep,
because it was our ball. It would have been our ball. It
would have.
Yeah, It was that we had possession. It just didn't go past 10 yards.
Even if it was a 3-and-out by us.
Yep. If that had gone out, or if that had gone our way, would the entire momentum and entire course of this game gone differently? Yes. Did that first play where we were like, yes, we got it, and then like, no, Raiders ball here. Did that literally change the entire momentum of the game for the negative? Because I think it might have.
I think it might have.
Remember.
I think it was a great call at the wrong time. We as a fan base aren't ready for gambles like that. We need a consistent high floor.
Yeah.
We need to get some confidence up before we start doing crap like that.
That's a year 3 Sean Payton move.
Yeah, but
and the AFC Championship 2 years.
Yeah, but you know what? Sean Payton doesn't give a crap about the fans or what we care about.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He says this is my team and I'm going to do it my way.
I don't think that was the game changer because I remember we went into halftime and we scored. We were winning at halftime. We got the ball back.
13-10.
1 second. So at that point in time, the momentum hadn't changed. I think it was Will Lutz missing that 55-yard field goal.
Yeah, that too.
I think the defense was like,
I just wanted to know.
Because we just had the punter get hit, and they were like, cool, we have another first down, offense back on the field, for whatever the case may be. were out there. Will Lutz get us 3 points.
Okay.
I think him missing that was like, oh God, we got lucky.
And the extra point.
We got lucky. Now we're gonna go back out there and defense.
Extra point hurt.
After we
extra point hurts. Too.
I think that hurt, but I don't think that was the game changer. Because remember, we still went into halftime winning.
Yeah,
the momentum was on our side. The momentum changed when he missed that. It was a huge letdown to miss that field goal.
So Ty,
Yep.
if you're a coach, a Broncos coach, what's the one thing you change or pound the hardest this week?
I have 2. I would do more play action for next week because I don't think they did that much play action.
They did. They actually did
They actually did a good amount.
about half their plays.
The second half, they stopped throwing the ball.
I would still do more play action, try to switch it up more, and then I would work on the safest way to do it, tackling, because like we said before, the tackling was horrendous and a lot of times. So
All right.
I would do that and a lot more play action. That's what I would do.
Okay. Thanks for taking mine with your second one.
Sorry.
You jerk.
Sorry.
So for me, the man, you took mine, bro. Now I'm stuck. I'm stuck now. What do I do? I came up with this idea. Now I'm stuck. Yeah.
Oh, also, you can steal this one, Johnny. You can borrow this one. If you're a coach, get Man Hurts the hell out of there.
Yeah, you know what?
He has no use.
You know what? You're right. You're right. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm going back to the drawing board with Cushionberry this week.
Cushion.
Yep. Because here's the crazy thing, right?
Hold on. Update
don't
on
you-
injuries on Caden Stearns.
Oh, Caden Stearns injury update?
Mike Kliss said tight end Greg Dulcich with a hamstring injury. Caden
Yep.
Stearns with a serious knee injury. So it is serious. Although there's hope his ACL is intact.
I hope.
It may just be a sprained ACL.
Yeah, or it could be a torn meniscus.
When they usually
Virgil.
Mm-hmm. So hey, I was actually gonna go with the one you were lending me there, but I'm gonna go with the different one. Okay, I want to point out the fact that in the preseason, Cushionberry was our most reliable offensive lineman. He was in the preseason. He looked great, and we were all like, "Holy crap! Cushionberry's finally arrived." Yep. Tonight, he got bullied more than anybody. He gave up more pressures than anybody. How many times did Max Crosby cut left and go up the center and get in Russ's face?
On a stunt, that's
not not just there. But I mean, he was getting bullied again. And
first half, not second half.
Maybe not second half, but the fact is, he was still giving up a lot of pressure.
Yes.
And that's the thing that he wasn't doing in the preseason. And we were all like, great, it's finally time for the Cushionberry show. And now I'm like, same old Cushionberry again.
Yep.
This week, I'm not pulling him yet. If I'm the coach, I'm not pulling him yet. But I'm going, listen, dude, I don't know what changed, but whatever did, change it back. We're going back to the drawing board. We're going to practice our fundamentals again. This is how you set. This is how you lock in. And this is how you don't get pushed back.
You got knocked the Omaha.
I mean, that's what I think. This week, you put an extra emphasis on flow with Cushionberry. That's what I would do as a coach this week.
Speaking of that, another missed extra point by the Cowboys. Just thought I'd throw it out there. They just missed right now. I didn't mean to interrupt, but speaking of missed,
it's happening all over the NFL. It's kind of weird, isn't it? So, anyway, that's mine. That's the end of the segment, Jay. If you like that segment for this show, let me know. I will create.
I do like that.
I like it. I like it too. That's great.
I will create then this week.
We'll call it. You know what the segment is? You know what we'll call the segment? Coach's Challenge.
Go on.
I like it.
Challenge the coach.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Challenge. I like it. Yep. Oh, this is happening, bro. This is happening.
I've always been good with names. I don't know why.
Yeah, I love it. All right. I'm good with that. I'm going to create that this week. The new segment every week for the Buck Your Feelings post-game show will be called Coach's Challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
It's a double entendre.
I did go one.
I'll double your entendre.
Whoa.
All right here. All right now. Whoa there.
That you said it entendre, and then I said something, and that was innuendo. In your endo.
In the
Oh
in your
dear.
endo, in my rear end.
Okay.
Okay.
The loss took it hard, I think.
We're
right.
filthy men.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I'm gonna roll us on out here. Because I'm sick of feeling this way.
I need to go take a shower and cry.
After the high of yesterday, I didn't want this team to bring me back down, and it did a little bit. So I'm gonna go back to riding high. I wish I had this music queued up. That prime time. Give me my theme music. But I can't do
now
that
we're all.
us.
Hey, here we go. This is you ready for this? I've actually got a very good Coach Prime impression of that. You know.
Okay.
Now that we're all here, somebody give me my theme music. There it is.
Well, this is the Broncos theme music right now.
Yeah.
A bunch of that. So until next
we need a better
time,
fart sound.
Oh, I'll get some wet ones going.
My niece loved it. When you did a fart sounds earlier today, she was laughing. So.
See, there you go. I'm here for the gimmicky gags and all the dad jokes. So
kids and farts, man, they love it.
They love
absolutely. All right, folks. Well, please tune in on Tuesday night as we have the normal show.
Nothing rhymes with orange and blue, baby.
Please jump on over there. We'll get ready for the Commanders next week. I'm sure we'll talk some more about this Raider game. But, ladies and gentlemen, until then, I really appreciate you being here, bucking your feelings with me on this really rough week one. So, without further ado, adieu, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Later.
Later.